So, we are back with another part of this assassin anime, but until now we saw how Akira and his entire class got summoned to a different world by the human king just to defeat the demon lord. However, Akira played it wisely and refused to trust him. And later his choice proved correct. That king was utterly wasteful, scheming something nasty behind the scenes, and when Akira caught the wind of it he framed Akira for a murder he never committed. So Akira escaped and decided to level up and then take revenge. But on the way he rescued an elf princess from the deepest part of the dungeon who was being hunted down by her own younger sister and her people. So now, let's find out what drives the little sister to try killing her own elder sister. Long ago things weren't like this at all. The relationship between the two sisters was actually peaceful. In fact, Amelia truly admired Kilka because she was powerful. And one day her fiancé asked Amelia to cancel their engagement and Kilka blamed Amelia for it, because she was the child of blight. Well, we don't exactly know what being the child of blight means, but it definitely gave them enough reason to exile Amelia, and Kilka even accused Amelia of attempting to murder her. That's why Amelia had fled from the kingdom. But now that she returned, Kilka wanted to finish the job once and for all, but there was no way Akira would simply stand by and watch. He stepped forward to protect the girl, but Kilka revealed her poison, claiming Amelia was the one who gave it to her. Obviously it was all fabricated and Amelia was framed, yet there was zero proof. Besides, she even targeted Akira and tried to use her charm powers on him to bring him to her side. But that pathetic ability didn't work at all, and the reason was crystal clear. Akira was far stronger than her, and this truth struck the pride of that little elf princess hard, so she commanded her soldiers to turn these two into pinker. So yeah, Akira also prepared himself for some serious bloodshed, but the king appeared and stopped everything. Then Kilka tried to justify her actions with her twisted stories, and even the soldiers stepped forward to support her. But the father knew his daughter well enough and ordered Kilka to release her charm spell. He even apologized to Amelia and Akira for all the misdeeds Kilka committed, but he requested Akira to leave the elf kingdom immediately, because humans aren't welcomed here. Hearing that, Amelia threatened her father that if Akira leaves she would leave too, which seriously angered him, because Amelia is actually the crown princess destined to take the throne soon. But Akira said if the girl doesn't want to, then this whole matter is dropped, and if anyone tries to force their way, then Akira showed his firm resolve to protect. Seeing that the king challenged Akira to a duel and set the condition that the winner will obey the loser, then king chose Kilka to fight as his proxy instead. Besides that, he asked about this child of blight title, and painfully Amelia had to explain that among elves, there's a legend saying when twins are born one will bring calamity to their land, and thus they labeled them the child of blight. For now things were about to get intense because Akira had to face the elf princess who's known as the strongest swordswoman of the Elven Kingdom. So with all the formalities and witnesses, the duel began. Kilka immediately tried everything to strike Akira down, but the guy dodged her like it was nothing. It honestly looked like he was just toying with a child. So Kilika combined her magic with swordsmanship to turn the tide. Yet Akira sensed the deep sadness in her heart and gently asked her to surrender. But Kilika believed Amelia stole everything from her, and that became the fuel for her rage. Amelia didn't just have unique hair and eyes. She was also a legendary spirit medium, which is an all-powerful skill that could raise the strength of the entire Elven Kingdom. So that's why she received all the attention, and Kilika felt completely overshadowed by her divine sister. So to free her from her delusion, Liam handed Amelia a branch of the World Tree which she used to break the charm effects on the soldiers. But this only made her feel more miserable as the one who never received any. So in a final desperate attempt she poured everything she had, but Akira absorbed her wind magic and suddenly enveloped himself in shadow. With that new skill he matched the princess blow for blow and finally defeated. This brought her back to reality that she was actually weak, but Amelia revealed that Liam was never under her spell from the very beginning. It might have sounded like mockery, but it wasn't. Because it proved the guy did everything with a clear mind for her sake, and all the things she never received despite being a princess were actually her father's fault. King even admitted it, but he did all this because of a past incident that he had to seal away Kilika's memories. From a young age she was a free spirit and once ventured into the dungeon, but there she met a mysterious man who gave her something to become stronger quickly, and it turned out to be a monster attractor. Yet Kilika fought hard until help arrived, but one monster killed Liam there. So to prevent Kilika from breaking apart, her father sealed her memories, and later Amelia used a leaf of the World Tree and her powers to resurrect Akira. So in the end the king had planned this whole isolation to make Kilika strong enough over the years so one day she could accept the truth. Yeah, this duel wasn't part of the plan, so he had to intervene himself to set things right. So now the full truth was revealed, and Kilika realized she had been deeply loved all these years. She just never knew it and caused all this mess. But even then Amelia never hated her and always loved her little sister. With that, everything returned to a happy conclusion, so the king held a small celebration, and since Akira won, now Amelia can choose her own path from now on. As for Akira, to the Beastmen Kingdom to commission a new blade. Then afterwards, Amelia took Akira to a quiet place to spend some quality time together and strengthen their bond. There she convinced Akira to call her by her name from now on, and decided to follow too. And on the other side, Akira's classmates were also heading to the Beastmen Kingdom. And with this, the time came for the two to depart on their journey, so the king prepared many bodyguards to escort them because there had been numerous kidnapping cases along the coastal road. But so far everything went smoothly, so Akira brought up the topic about Night. Normally Night serves the demon lord, but helping humans this much might get her in trouble. But Night was carefree because the demon lord never interferes, and reminded Akira that the demon lord had sent him an invitation some time ago. At first it seemed the demon lord simply wanted to befriend Akira because his skills and techniques were truly fascinating. But suddenly Akira sensed many presences ahead. They held a little girl hostage and demanded the princess in exchange for her life. But before they could even move, Akira wiped them all out in an instant. These idiots mentioned their patron was a man named Graham, and coincidentally in the Beastmen nation there's a royal with the exact same name. Quite suspicious, if what I mean. So Akira told the guards to take these kidnappers back to the Elven Kingdom since the sea was already close. That's why Akira and Amelia continued by themselves and set off. Luckily there's a dungeon in the port town too, so Akira, but the journey will be long, so Amelia was excited to spend time with Akira and have fun. But her future husband received some books from his future father-in-law, so he got busy reading them and accidentally broke his future wife's heart. Just like that, time passed and the trip ended as they arrived in the town of Brute. But the moment they stepped off the ship they saw only human laborers, and further ahead, a few beastmen even tried to snatch Amelia away for fun. That's when Akira stepped in but only blinded them to avoid bigger trouble. But for some reason everyone kept staring at Night with intense eyes, yet somehow they made it through and found a nice hotel to stay in. Amelia was extremely happy to share the same room and the same bed, but Akira was still being a dense late bloomer and got shy. Night even left to give them privacy to handle some business on her end, and Amelia got excited. By the time she came out, Akira had already fallen into deep sleep, so she didn't wake him up and simply slept beside him. Then, in the early morning, he saw Amelia had slept next to him the whole night, and Night told them to snap out of it and get ready because she had called a guy named Crow. He's the finest blacksmith in the world and he's exactly who Akira was looking for to upgrade his katana. But Crow needs rare materials to work his magic, so he told Akira to gather those materials first. But what surprised everyone is that the blacksmith was a veteran warrior himself that even Night acknowledges his combat strength. Well, anyway, Crow took the blade and Night said they could visit the dungeon in the meantime to level up. It's located at the corner of the city, but Amelia made plans to speak with Crow alone, so Akira sent Night to keep her safe. Amelia wanted Crow to train her because he was a member of the former heroes party and the sole survivor, but Crow refused because he had seen many disciples run away. Yet Amelia was dead set on it because she also wants to protect Akira the same way he protects her, so Crow cleared things with Night that he never agreed to any of this. He calls her Nightmare of Adoria because of what she did in the past. Around 100 years ago, Night was sent to this town on the Demon Lord's orders to cause destruction and show what happens when you oppose the Demon Lord's army. And that was the day Night lost herself to destructive instincts and showed the true meaning of terror. That's how Night earned the title Nightmare of Adoria. But now Night is certain it won't happen again because this time she serves Akira, not the Demon Lord. But Night had met Crow under different circumstances, when he had lost his sister. For a moment Night thought she died because of the Demon Lord's army, but that wasn't the case. His sister was murdered indeed, but by a nobleman who ordered his carriage to run over the panicked crowd. He was fleeing the war to save his own life. And his name was Gramcluster, whom the Crow wants dead by any means. But on the other side, Crow wondered what his sister would have wanted him to do. Pursue revenge? No, maybe they would have wanted her brother to live comfortably. So Amelia made him realize that he's using his sister as an excuse to escape reality, the reality of his own feelings. But Crow had enough and told her to leave. And on the other side, while Akira was in town, something huge happened and suddenly monsters from the dungeon started rampaging through the city. Amelia did her best to protect the innocents with Night's help, but a mysterious man who had manipulated Kiliko appeared there. His name was Orem and he was here on the Demon Lord's orders to capture Amelia, and Orem succeeded and took Amelia deep inside the dungeon. Night informed Akira about this and he immediately rushed out, and for that, he used his shadow ability to absorb every monster in the city into his darkness, which drained him completely and caused him to lose consciousness. And right there, our video has to end for today, but stay tuned to watch the next part, and for that, subscribe the channel and don't forget to hit the bell icon, or you might miss the update. See you till then.